Hello everyone, welcome to part 24 here of 100 Ways to Motivate Yourself. I'm Walt, and we're talking all about part 24 this time, creating your relationships. I find this one to be pretty fascinating, and I find that it's a little bit outside the box for some of this kind of stuff, but it is so extremely useful that it's really worth talking about, and I should do other videos on this one anyway. But what he says is that so many of us really, when we're creating our relationships, we just think they kind of just happen. And so many people think with their emotions. I feel angry, I feel sad, I feel fearful about this, I feel loving, whatever the emotions are. So many of them being like fearful emotions. And people just like think that that's how it is and this other person's creating them or they're doing this to me. And so I should feel all these things and I should just act with all my feelings. That's why some people just like break up with each other out of the blue. They just like sometimes somebody just picks an argument or a fight because you don't logically do that. People really seem to do this thing of acting out of their emotions and not out of their logic. So what he says here is we create our own relationships, so let's use our mind, let's use the thing that we're best at, thinking, and use logic and our creativity as well. So, both conscious and subconscious there to some degree. Both sides of the brain, both right and left, to really be able to use our abilities to conquer and to achieve when it comes to our relationships, make them better. Instead of picking fights, instead of like continuing to say, oh, but she said this or he said this and yada, 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 yada. He's saying, no. Let's all just work together. Let's have a synergistic kind of effect in our relationships and let's think about them logically. So he stresses that our relationships don't just happen, we create them. Now, I think this one's pretty obvious because what you say has weight to it, what you do has weight to it. If you're very romantic, very happy, it tends to attract more people, it tends to keep them around longer, it tends to keep them wanting to have you around. Versus if you're mean, if you're upset, if you constantly have that, no matter what, it constantly just drives people away. So when you have a more loving self and you really try to think about your relationships that you're creating, instead of just kind of acting them out and just acting with your emotions. He's saying, don't just act out of your emotions. You can feel them, but don't make the mistake of acting out of them. I think this one is also huge because so many people tend to act out of their emotions all the time. Sometimes they'll just be really upset at their family or somebody and they'll just go out and say it and they're going to be really negative and they're just going to yell at people and they're going to do this and that. And that stuff's both not only going to get people to hate you, but it's going to get your subconscious mind to also work against you. So instead of just acting out your emotions, realize you create all your relationships, be they romantic, be they lifelong, be they friendships, work-related, whatever they are. You create your own relationships, so don't act out of emotion, instead act out of logic. That's about it for part 24. I will see you guys next time with part 25. So stay tuned. I'll see you then.